Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Tomb Raider 2013 on hard difficulty, and this is my no upgrade run for the aforementioned title, played on the aforementioned difficulty. We're currently on part 13 of what will be 15 parts. I know the number of parts now because I have everything finalized, and even though I haven't cleared the game yet, I'm on the final chasm area. So there will be an emphasis on puzzles in this chapter, with some stealth sections and some gunfights, but like if you want the emphasis to be on the gunfights, you're gonna have to wait until the next chapter because there's quite a lot of gauntlets in that chapter, in fact. So anyway, if you're unfamiliar with what's happening with this guide, I truly hope not, because we're 2 videos away from clearing the difficulty. What I'm doing is I'm going through the hardest difficulty. There's a small mistake by me, you'll have to forgive me. If not, if that's an unforgivable offense to you, then I can handle it. We're going through the game. I'm just kind of looking around here for stuff. In fact, what you're bearing witness to is I'm trying to line up some footage right there. And since this is a more casual approach to editing, you're just going to have to bear with me once again. Because I just closed the session after I saw a pause screen for like 30 seconds, and I'm not exiting out again, even if I see another one for 45 seconds. It's not laziness, it's just once you have a couple of negligent parts in a guide, it's easy to just keep up the negligence, and it really isn't anything that ever typifies this channel, to be sure. But I like the platforming in this game. I mean, do you guys? I really do. I think it's fun. I like using the pickaxe to traverse chasms and things like that. But what I was saying a minute ago was that I'm going through the campaign on the hardest difficulty, which is entitled Hard, and not upgrading a single thing, nothing except the one upgrade that in part 1 you're forced to, because they want you to experience what the upgrade system is. And if you're wondering which one I selected, it was something like the survival. I don't know. It has no bearing on the guide. But some people, I think, would probably say that the platforming overstays its welcome a little bit. Sort of like the criticism that God of War Ascension had from reviewers, that the platforming was sort of like Uncharted in its refusal to be brief, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But I've always found it relaxing, and it's a fantastic game. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning to a very kind and very generous donation from one Timmy Gunn. He is the gentleman who I consider to be the Vanquish god. I have never seen anybody play Vanquish as well as him. He said that he has been watching the channel for a while, ever since, he's been can you stutter anymore, Big Benedict, you son of a bitch? He's been with the channel for several years, and I remember that I think the first thing he ever said to me was, would it be possible, he said this in a very, very polite way, he said, would it be possible if you could narrate some Ninja Gaiden Black content that I had? And I said, I just can't do that. My workflow's pretty heavy as it is. You'll have to do it yourself. And he said, okay, no problem, cool. And he went on his way. He offered to give me the Vanquish Prima official guide, I think it is, at one point when I was struggling on the Vanquish bosses, and I could never do it. And the guy went out of his way to make a video for me on his own channel just to show me how to beat them. And you can imagine with what jealous eyes I observed that video, and found out that he's been kind of in the shadows, so to speak, of late, like a ninja warrior, just observing, making sure everything is going okay, and just coming out from time to time to say a few words of brevity and to donate a very nice and generous amount of money to fortify the channel, as well as to also give out some very kind sentiments as far as my rig and how that will go when I start to build it. Because I do foresee problems, but There's going to be problems with everything in life, and I'm actually looking at the computer as more of a hobby, as a distraction, as something for my mental health, more than just, some kind of obsession that, I need to have some kind of a fast computer, or I'm going to go crazy or something like that. It's to stave off craziness, even though there's no real need to. It's just that if I do something new and something that I'm a little scared to do, I feel like at the end of the day, when it's all done, I feel like I mastered it and that I'm on top of the world, kind of, And that's one of the joys of doing these guides and beating them on the hardest difficulties. Same kind of thrilling feeling. But anyway, thank you very much, Tim. That was extremely nice. I guess he wants to be called Timmy, if that's what his username is. But if not, Timmy. Thank you very much. That was just extremely kind of you, and it will always be appreciated by me. Thank you. So we are on frame 22,225 right now. Going through this, I can actually see every single frame number as it goes by. And looks like we're going to have an encounter pretty soon. So if the black screen will ever go away, we will actually be able to do this encounter. There it goes. I think what's happening with these black screens, to be honest, is that every time there's a transition from one clip to the next, I'm getting a black screen, and then it's going away within a couple of seconds. So I'm just going to be doing the same thing I did before, where if I see it, I'll probably mention it. But I can't exit out every time I see a black screen. This guide would have to be canceled if I had to do that every time, and make like 20 little audio clips for a 15-minute video. It would just be absolutely ridiculous. So we're heading on down here now. I think this video contains the elevator puzzle. There's a couple of notorious puzzles. What is this one? Oh yeah, I was just here this morning. Okay, so what you need to do is cause the elevator to fall to the very bottom, and the way you do that is to destroy those cogs up there, and they're not all accessible from where we are, so we're just going to have to do some manipulation. If you, like me, despise puzzles, you only need to watch this video. Because to be honest, I didn't do this puzzle at all the first time I did it, like when I originally played this game, but this time I said to myself, I'm not doing this goddamn puzzle. I've got things to do. I'm not wasting my time. Black screen. Wonderful. So just make sure you hit that elevator. Black screen's gone. I'm not even going to mention it anymore because people won't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So hit that. Come on down over here. There's probably going to be more black screens. But we need to make our way up here. There should be a jump for us to do over here somewhere. There's the jump. We're on the 4th floor now. I was watching a little bit of that movie Blue Velvet that I was talking about. And Kyle MacLachlan and Laura Dern's characters were both... And this is just kind of brief because I noticed that in that movie, they went to this woman suspect's apartment complex, and Laura Dern's character said something like, she lives on the 7th floor, and it was clearly like a 3-story building, and it just completely took me out of the whole picture. I don't understand that, Like when you see a building and there's no way there are 7 floors there. There's no way there are 4 floors there. And it just kind of reminded me of it when we were seeing these floors in the elevator, because I was just watching that movie a little bit. I watch movies in very slow stages. But anyway, you guys, that's the whole puzzle. Just mimic what I do there, because there will be one more puzzle in the next chapter that is a kind of like a cage puzzle that's... it could be stupefying to somebody. I mean, for me, it definitely would have been. I may have even looked originally. I have no idea. I probably did. like when I first play this. Because whenever I don't know where to go and I'm doing a guide, all I can think about is not really all the frustration of not knowing where to go. It's the fact that I have to edit a bunch of stuff. So if there's just a linear path, then I won't get lost. So I'll only have to focus on doing like the fights, like in God of War. You don't get lost in a game like that, you know, unless God of War 4 is non-linear, first person. Can you imagine that if it was first person, man? Oh my god. I'm kind of curious, does anyone think that there's any like chance that it could be first person? Like, that's kind of like saying it, well, Uncharted 4, that's going to be first person, or Gears of War 4. It's just, it'll never happen, but it's one of those nightmarish kind of things I think about. Anyway, this is a fight in the research base with a ton of enemies. So the first two guys you can kill with this exploding barrel up here. And let's see, there is an area under the stairs where enemies come from. You can try, I don't know if you could try to get rid of the entire situation. Yeah, I'm getting burned up, I think. You might be able to just leave this room and skip the fight if you want to. It's uncanny how accurate these dynamite throwers are. I mean, they'll throw a piece of dynamite right like around a corner and hit you. It's just, it's ridiculous. But I felt kind of bad earlier because I got an email from Amazon stating that the number of my recent returns to them has been kind of unusually high, and it was kind of a passive aggressive. Look at all those dynamite sticks. It was just a. They're stating to they're kind of protecting their interests and just saying, you know, Bick, you know, you've had an unusual number of high returns of late. You know, just make sure if things aren't right, you contact us, and you know we want to make things right for you as a customer. They're basically saying we're watching you. Stop with all these fucking returns. You know, just like Steam did to me, because I returned Transformers, and I think that was one of the last straws that they'll have with me, because I return a lot of stuff because I'm a picky consumer. I'm very discriminating. I'm very sensitive to the workmanship and craftsmanship of stuff, like when I buy it. So if I get it and it's just not to my liking or to my standards, which are very high, I send it back. So I felt kind of bad about that. You know, at least I had to have a conscience. So I resolved. I made a couple of good faith purchases on Amazon, some things that I knew I wouldn't return, like some razor blades and some other things that, you know, just kind of like staples that I knew not literally staples, but you know what I mean. Just everyday things that there's just no chance I would return. So I made a few good faith purchases, and I emailed them and I said, you know, basically everything I just mentioned to you. I said I'm very sorry. It struck me with sorrow to hear that, because I've been a loyal customer since 2004. And, you know, I value my account and I don't want it compromised, so I just wanted to say I apologize. I'm very sorry that I've been picky of late. It's just that I'm picky. I'm me, you know? But I felt bad about it. I really did. And I just wanted to, you know, because when stuff like that happens, like, it doesn't really ruin my day, but it's just like, it's negativity that I know I've earned, and I have to own up to it, you know? So I did, even though I didn't contact them personally, in as much as I sent them an email, but I'm better with words on paper than in speaking, and I could convey myself better when I type stuff rather than talk. I could just get it out a little bit better. And same with Steam. You know, I'm just going to have to only buy what I want. Because conversely, you know, if I'm buying so much stuff and I'm not really keeping it, there's really no reason to buy it in the first place. So they're just, maybe they are kind of saying to themselves, well, we want you to be happy, but we also don't want to lose money when you return things to us that perhaps may not be in saleable condition. The same saleable condition that you bought it in. And I understand that, and I just feel bad. So I also feel bad when anybody gets worried about, like, when they make a donation on this channel. And I'm not saying this just to bring up the donation things. I'm just saying that they're kind of worried that I will be entrusted with their personal information, because when you donate, I do receive, like, your name and address, but I mean, I'm not going to do anything with that. Like, what would I do with that? It just gets deleted and put in my trash file in my email, and you know, that's as far as it goes. I would never compromise anybody's information or your identity on my channel. So that fight's done. We're gonna head on out of here, you guys, and I think this may just wrap it up, but we'll have to see. If it does, I just want to wish everybody the best. Yeah, it looks like we're almost finished with this. I do remember that there is an encounter down here with some guys, so we'll just take this one as it comes. And it's basically that Amazon problem. It's the same problem I had with Steam. Steam contacted me and said, you know, this service is not a means of trying out products and just, you know, it's not a means of testing out games. It's not. So I understand that, and I'm gonna have to improve. It's the only thing there is to do. Own up to it, admit I was wrong, and improve. And I hope you can learn those lessons too. I mean, if you like, I don't want to be some kind of a father figure to you if you don't want one, but if you want someone for guidance, the way you use my guidance for Ninja Gaiden 2 and everything else, I can be your mentor, because we're all walking the path of the Master Ninja. Take care.